Last time on Casino Royale with cheese.
In the comic book that's based on that 8 a.m. in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning. I guess they had like weird tentacled appearance with a bunch of eyeballs and shit like that. And that's John Carpenter actually wanted to make the aliens look like they were decaying humans.
He gave them more of like humans wearing shitty Halloween mask appearance.
He like opens a dump truck and he was like looking around and shit. He finds them, and then the dump truck dumps its load of, for lack of a better term, dumps dumps all the trash out of the truck, and then just takes off with the fucking bed of that thing sticking up. I'm like, what is going on here, man?
He jumps into this thing with nothing but paper and cardboard, and then the damn trash man just dumps him. What? And Roddy like complains about it. He's like, "Oh no, what? He just helped you out."
And now, the conclusion.
Houston, we have a problem.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Silent breed is people!
Yo, Adrian! I did it!
Let's put a smile on that face.
I gotta warn you, Clark. They don't play the same games here as they do at them regular casinos.
Royale, too.
Hey, if you're hungry, I left a few hot dogs in here.
Live from our studios in West Canaan, Texas, it's Casino Royale with cheese, starring your host, who can't seem to stop rubbing his wiener against the glass at the Alanos Club, Shane Bird.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Casino Royale with cheese. This is episode 51 of the internet show where we discuss movies that were number one at the box office exactly 20 years ago. My name is Shane, as Mike mentioned, and I'm joined here by the man who looks like John Voight in Post-Op. This is Mike.
He doesn't look so hot pre-op.
Well, have you seen what he's done with his face lately?
No.
It's bad. Pretty bad. He got a little carried away with that whole plastic surgery thing. But
He is Angelina Jolie's dad.
he is.
So no surprise there.
How much of her do you think is fake, Mike? Like, came out of the tube.
I don't know. She's stood the test of time pretty good.
Yeah. It's always funny. I always thought, whenever it came to, like, Brad Pitt, because I think Jennifer Aniston is a goddess, and I thought that he actually
amazing.
traded. Yeah, I thought he traded down, actually, sadly enough, but that's just me.
They're just different kinds of attractive.
Right. They are.
One's way more exotic looking. The other one's much more like American looking.
Mm-hmm. The Jennifer Aniston's definitely like the girl that you take home to mom. I could see Angelina Jolie being like the girl that could like cut your brake lines or something if you pissed her off too much. So, yeah.
The girl you cheat on your wife with?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes, sir. But how's it going, man?
Pretty good. I'm glad I have a day off.
Yeah? Mike's been working hard lately.
We got a new jefe, so he's got all kinds of plans.
Yeah. Well, that is true. The government shut down except for Mike. So
yeah, there is no shutting down recruiting efforts.
No. Me and the wife, we celebrated our anniversary yesterday. So
a happy anniversary.
Thanks, sir. We had all these grandiose plans of things that we might do, like stay at the Hard Rock for a night, or at least go watch a movie, something like that. Turns out we went and got tacos and then got wasted. So
That's fun too.
yeah, it was a good time. But so that's
just
that.
for a note, if you're gonna take your wife to like an authentic Italian restaurant, you should probably make reservations next time.
We tried. They wouldn't let us.
Oh, they don't do reservations?
Not last night. They didn't know. So we're like, we'll just show up. It couldn't be that bad. And they were gonna make us wait like 40 minutes, which, Saturday night, it is what it is. But it was a situation where we tried to call ahead, and they were like, it's not going to happen tonight. So the reservations weren't.
No, that's call ahead. You got to do reservations. You got to call like a week ahead.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's that. So, but why don't you tell us a little bit about what it is that we are watching today there, mon frere?
We are watching an MTV movie.
Yeah. First one.
Varsity Blues.
Yeah. Our first MTV movie anyway. So
it's a fucking 10.
Yeah. We need to cover the elephant in the room here, sir.
That you fucked up?
Yeah. This movie did not come out 20 years ago. This movie came out 19 years and 51 weeks ago. I knew it would happen eventually, and it finally did. I have a tendency to fudge up numbers anytime there's numbers that I could possibly fudge. So what we're really looking at was the movie that was number 1 20 weeks ago, or 20 years ago, was, I think it's a civil action. I really don't know that much about it, honestly. All I know is that it stars John Travolta, and it was apparently up for like 2 Oscars. And that's it, dude. So we're actually going to go through and watch that one next week, since we were already talking about this one. So
I think Civil Action is the movie where John Travolta plays the role of Robert Kardashian.
No.
In the civil suit against O.J. Simpson?
No. Because, number one, them, litigating O.J. Simpson is not a civil action. It's very much a criminal action.
No, you're wrong, sir. O.J. he went to a criminal court, which he was found not guilty.
Okay.
And he went to a civil court where he's found guilty as fuck.
Oh, okay.
He owed the Goldman and Browns like $100 million or something crazy like that.
Shit.
That's why he moved to Florida.
From my understanding in regard to this, a civil action movie, is it has more to do with some sort of environmental thing that's taken place. And
completely made up the thing with John Travolta and Robert Kardashian, because he really did do that for that FX show.
For Netflix, yeah.
FX.
Oh, was it? Because I saw it on Netflix, but it probably showed up there first.
I think Netflix bought it.
Yeah. That also has poor old Cuba Gooding Jr. that just can't get the job, Can't help but feel kind of bad for that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about civil action. We'll do that next week.
Yeah, we will. That thing you were talking about, where he plays Robert Kardashian or whatever.
Yeah.
I watched that, and the acting in that is all over the place. It is awesome to watch it just because the acting is out of control in that fucking thing, man.
I liked it.
It's hilarious. You did?
Yeah. I watched every
I thought
episode.
the acting was so atrociously over the top from every single person involved that it made me laugh hard, dude. But that's just me. But yeah, we'll talk about civil action next week.
Yes.
I don't know anything about it. And yeah, so whatever. This week's Varsity Blues with Mr. James Van Der Beek himself.
Yeah, and Paul Walker.
And Paul Walker. Very young, full of life looking Paul Walker.
Dreamy ass Paul Walker.
Uh-huh.
And Amy Smart.
Mm-hmm.
And Allie Larder.
Allie Larder, yeah.
You don't hear that name anymore.
No.
What's crazy is when this movie came out, I was dating a girl that was like a fucking carbon copy of Allie Larder.
Really?
Yeah, my buddies were very envious.
It's not bad at all, dude.
They kept trying to get me to put a whipped cream bikini on her and take pictures for them.
Allie Larder is a very, very lovely young lady, so go Mike.
She was a Hooters waitress.
Oh, was she?
Yep.
Awesome. Way to go.
In Pensacola, Florida.
Last I recall, for whatever reason, because I've never seen Varsity Blues, and so this was a deal where I was always thinking that her first movie was that damn, what was it, Final Destination thing? But no, this was it. This is her first on-screen movie thing. What I did think was funny was because since I had never seen this movie before, the whole whipped cream bikini thing, once they parodied it in Not Another Teen Movie, where we've got like Chris Evans wearing the thing, and then he like turns around to walk away, and he's got like a banana sticking up his butt. You know, it was fucking funny, dude. Really hilarious. And I didn't get the frame of reference, but I thought it was hilarious at the time. So, but what's your history with this movie?
Oh, I've seen this movie maybe a few dozen times.
Mm-hmm. Because it has Allie Larder.
Not just because of Allie Larder. You remember, I played a little high school foosball in my day, and
yep, against Mama's wishes.
Yep, and I would watch this movie because my experience of high school football, while I played for a pretty good football team, like the whole town didn't shut down, and we didn't have these huge blowout. If they did have huge blowout parties, I wasn't invited to them.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the similar experience. I had fun, don't get me wrong, but it was not like this.
Right. Well, that's the one thing that I have that's kind of a gripe with this movie, man, is so think back, if you will, to when we discussed He Got Game. Mm. And I mentioned at the time that movie, like, basketball is just the backdrop, and it's really more about this dad and his son, whatever. That's not the case with this fucking movie. In every scene, the only thing that anybody ever talks about is fucking football in this movie. Like, the entire town, this shithole of a town, has their entire, every ounce of energy they have tied into this damn football that this high school team is doing, you know?
The town is in a football trance. Now, let me tell you something. This is not uncommon in small town Texas.
That I could very much see. That would not surprise me at all.
I don't know about today, but prior to the internet, this is what towns, like those small towns in Texas that are, they're famous. There's famous towns about Friday Night Lights in fucking Texas.
Right.
And this is not far off.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't surprise me.
I've had many of friends throughout my military career who played, for these small towns in Texas, and they had these experiences.
Yeah. Well, let me see if I can summarize this movie for everybody here right quick.
Why don't you go ahead and give it a shot there, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad. It's a big 10-4 there, good buddy. In George Orwell's 1949 novel, 1984, he spoke of a lottery-style game created by the government that was quite successful at enamoring people and distracting them from their day-to-day hardships. It was described as, quote, the one public event to which the proles or proletarians paid serious attention, unquote. A similar comparison could be made to that of football in the single-minded world of Varsity Blues, released January 15th, 1999. The film opens as we meet Jonathan Moxon, who is a seemingly intelligent backup quarterback for West Canaan, Texas's high school football team. Texas is, by the way harder to say than it sounds. So,
yeah.
Yeah. He has a slew of friends, Lance, Billy Bob, Tweeter, and Wendell, along with his relationships on his football team. He's also faced daily with douchebag Coach Kilmer and his ever-lovely girlfriend, Julie. After Billy Bob, the town's local syrup-swilling quintuple bypass surviving diabetes patient, takes a nasty hit during one particular football game, and the trauma to what little brain he has causes him to pass out, resulting in a season-ending injury for the first-string quarterback Lance, which is only aggravated by the anesthetic shots Coach Kilmer has been administering. Mox gets his chance to play for the first time, and to everyone's surprise, he is quite proficient. Soon, due to his success, Mox is being given all the privileges that a small Texas town with a population of 500 has to offer. Free 6-packs of brand beer, unlimited sexual opportunities from Lance's girlfriend, and lap dances from their sex ed teacher at the local strip club.
It's a tan!
After Mox and company receive their sexual education firsthand from the teacher, they lose the following game that night, what with them being hungover and all, to which Coach Kilmer is repulsed. Things fall apart that evening as Mox has a verbal altercation with his father regarding his poor performance, and the discussion is only resolved when Mox finds out Billy Bob is contemplating suicide, not unlike Papa Roach. Mox convinces him that with his eating habits, Billy Bob doesn't have long for this earth anyway, and Billy Bob decides playing football is the best way to spend his last moments on this mortal coil. It's not soon after that Coach Kilmer pulls Mox aside and tells Mox that he expects his play calls to be followed, and if they aren't, he'll fudge the info on Mox's transcript, ensuring that the scholarship he recently received from Brown University will fall through. At the final game of the season, Wendell is hurt, and it's at that time Coach Kilmer wants to administer to him the same antidote Lance received. Mox steps in along with the other members of the team, stating that if Coach Kilmer came back after halftime, they wouldn't. Coach Kilmer takes the walk of shame down the hall, and Lance gets to take charge of calling the plays during the final half of the game. Lance also gives Mox a chance to call a few plays quite successfully. The game's final play ends up being a touchdown, which makes this game the first competition Billy Bob won that didn't involve eating pies. This film stars Brian O'Connor and the Dawson. Oh, shit.
Dude,
yeah.
You know, I talk to you a lot. I hang out with you a lot. And most of the time, your intelligence level when we're hanging out is about Billy Bob level.
Nothing too crazy, yeah.
Nothing deep at all, really. But when
hanging out with a pig that I think is a dog.
Bacon. But when you write these summaries, man, your ability to spin a word shines, my friend.
I guess so, man.
No, it's really
hilarious.
good. Yeah. I love your summaries. It's my favorite part.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. You said you'd seen this before. Do you recall the first time did you go to the theater and watch this, or?
I watched this with a bunch of buddies.
Oh, okay. Right on. Let's go over some stuff real quick here. We got some cast info that I think I took screenshots of, but who's to say?
We already covered a big chunk of it.
We really did, yeah. Let me see here. Move that out of the way.
Jon Voight.
Jon Voight's in it. We got
James
James
Vanderbeek.
Yeah.
Paul Walker. Amy Smart. I already said her name and forgot. Allie Larder.
Allie Larder.
And I don't know Billy Bob's real name.
Billy Bob's real name is Ron Lester. He's actually dead now.
Oh, no.
Yep, he died in 2016. He died from liver and kidney failure. So,
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this episode anymore. I'm done.
I know, because I got a lot to say about Billy Bob, so feels like I'm picking on this dead guy, but sorry, Billy Bob.
He's got a heart of gold. Don't you
He
dare.
does have a heart of gold. It's probably the size of a gold nugget, too. So, we've got Scott Conn plays Tweeter.
Yeah,
and
Hawaii 5-0 now.
Oh, is it? What he's on?
Yeah, he's on some cop drama in Hawaii. I think it's Hawaii 5-0.
Wait. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. We got Richard Lineback plays Joe Harbor, who is Lance's dad.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
I don't like that guy.
No, he's a douchebag.
All the dads are douchebags.
Yeah. I guess Thomas F. Duffy plays Mox's younger brother.
He's funny.
Yeah, okay. We'll talk about it. Eliel Swinton plays Wendell. And I don't know, man. It's just a handful of fucking names of everybody else's pretty much second note.
There was a bunch of big names, though, when this movie came out.
There were.
Although,
time,
actually,
yeah.
I don't know how big they were. I know John Voight was a big name. James Vanderbeek was a huge star at the time. I think Paul Walker was a no one. Amy Smart was a no one. Ali Larter was a no one.
Yeah.
I don't think they were known.
Right. I don't think Amy Smart had been in a whole bunch up until this point. She went on to be in
Butterfly Effect.
The Butterfly Effect. She was in that road trip movie with Breckin Meyer. So there was that.
She was great in Butterfly Effect.
She was really good in that movie. Man, that movie gets a lot of shade thrown at it lately. I think it's pretty good.
I liked it.
So, I don't know. I mean, if you don't like
I think
it,
I watched
it's fine. But
Memento and Butterfly Effect like back to back in the same night. And my mind was kind of blown.
yeah. Hopefully you weren't smoking pot, because, man, I'd be, like, committing suicide after the end of that.
I may have been a little intoxicated.
I don't think I could take that. Memento's a way better movie than Butterfly Effect, but I do like Butterfly Effect. So, this movie was made on a budget of $16 million. So,
Pretty good.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. There wasn't anything that was too earth-shattering as far as, huge action set pieces or anything like that in this movie.
A lot of football.
Was a lot of football. A lot of John Voight running around with his swole-up face. Do you dare to guess how many weeks this was number one for, Mike?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. You are correct, sir.
Yay.
How
60 million.
60 million. You are off by like $7 million. 52,894,000. So,
Not bad.
It's not bad. Not bad. I'll take it. Yeah, that sentence, I'm glad that you picked up the slack on that, because that thing was a fail. I went into that sentence knowing that wasn't going to pan out. So
What are you talking about?
when I was going to have you check out or tell me what you thought how much money it pulled.
Oh.
And like started a sentence and it died fast. But let's talk about this movie.
All right. It's all
first
about
of all,
Texas football.
Texas football. Football
all
is a
that-
way of life in West Canaan, Texas.
The only thing that matters there is God, football, and Texas.
Anyway, that whole like willfully ignorant mantra. Oh man, I got some stuff to say about that. What's the deal with Mox's brother, dude? This guy's fucking weird.
He's funny.
I share your sentiment.
We start off the movie. He's crucified himself. He's trying to eat breakfast at the table with this cross strapped to his back.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Then he's Islam,
Right.
and he's like not just a regular Muslim either. He goes with like the Louis Farrakhan style.
Mm-hmm. Assalamu alaikum and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they all say that.
And then, right. But by the end of the movie, he started a cult.
Yeah.
So you're
by the end of the movie, he wasn't in the cult no more either. He was just wearing like a sweater.
Oh.
No, he was wearing a poncho.
I see. I think that the thing that bothers me about this is we haven't really established his character. Instead, we're just going to make this random guy do random shit, and everybody will have a chuckle. And I'm like, since I'm not in any way like familiarized with this character, that doesn't do anything for me.
Are you starting a cult, son? Uh-huh. How sweet.
Man. So Billy Bob. Oh, man. I've known people like Billy Bob before that took pride in the fact that they're an idiot. And I got problems with that guy, man.
What's your problem with Billy Bob?
He's the rotund dude, heart of gold, whatever you said. But we're watching him at the beginning of the movie. He's drinking syrup out of a bottle.
He's trying to gain weight.
Obviously, he's doing well at it. So
he's an offensive lineman. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So I told you about a kid I know who was like the number one prospect out of the state of Oklahoma a year or two ago, and I know him pretty
Right.
well. He was 6'7", 280 pounds of solid muscle, and he was going to OU, and they told him he needed to put on more weight.
Right. So that's what Billy Bob's doing, huh?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I guess my thing is, he's sitting back talking about, I love that dog. Talking about a stupid pig that he rides with in the truck to school. Are you shitting me right now? This is so dumb. And the fact of the matter is later on, Billy Bob takes a pretty big hit whenever they're playing football. And they're like, how many fingers am I holding up? He's like, and he's like, you got to ask him true false questions because apparently this guy doesn't know his numbers, but he's in high school and he's fixing to graduate. And I'm like, the only reason that they're passing this moron is because he plays football. If he did not play football, they would tell him to fuck off, and he would be in like the 4th grade still.
Or he would have learned his numbers.
Could very well be. Could very well be. All I know is I wrote down on my notes, I was like, so far the jokes are a no-go in this movie.
Well, they landed for me.
Oh, okay. Let's see. What else?
And for Nicole, by the way, who often doesn't appreciate the movies I like.
Yeah, that's good.
We were literally audibly laughing.
Yeah. I was audibly sighing. And if I could audibly roll my eyes, you could have heard that too. Let's see here. Oh, I wrote down Amy Smart looks great with dark hair. I love it. She's usually a little blondie. I am more naturally inclined to brunettes anyway.
You married a blonde.
Take an already beautiful girl and then darken her hair. That's it, man.
So you're going to have your wife start dyeing her hair brown?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, not really. Well, that's funny because my wife, she never sticks with one hair color anyway. So she'll just kind of switch it up from time to time. Just get it darkened. Fuck it.
Your baby's supposed to have white hair.
Oh, they do. They do.
Start dyeing their kids' hair too?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I thought it was weird that they put their first names on the jerseys in this.
No, they didn't. Just Billy Bob.
Was he the only one?
Yeah.
Like Wendell, he had brown on his. I noticed that, but why would they have just his name on there?
His name's fucking Billy Bob, Shane. Next question.
Let's see.
I can't believe you haven't brought up the terrible style of 1999 yet. Holy
I wrote it down, but yeah. We haven't gotten to it. But.
You could fit like 4 kids in those jeans.
He's wearing those ugly-ass jean code jeans from late 90s era. I'm surprised he wasn't rocking like Reeboks or not Reeboks, but Airwalks at the time. That was such a horrible era for style, man.
He got a puka shell necklace on.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like those necklaces, though.
Oh, so. God.
Let's see here. Oh, I wrote down this guy, Stud Daddy Tanner. He's the announcer that's on the left.
Yeah.
I wrote down he looks like if Woody Harrelson and Drew Carey had a baby.
I don't think his name is Stud Daddy. His name is Stub Daddy.
Stub?
Yeah.
Okay. Stud Daddy.
Throughout the film, they show instances of like covering up injury.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty important commentary, and it was way ahead of its time.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's been a more recent revelation sort of thing, I think. But
well,
yeah,
we've always known, but for them to put it in mainstream media, it's a pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Let's see. I wrote down the Billy Bob when they're at the party and he's like gurgling and he's about to barf or whatever. All the sound effects, they sound silly and unnatural and gross and unnecessary. I wrote down it's Home Alone 3-esque, where it's just like somebody on a soundboard coming up with shit, you know?
Yeah, but then we're paid off with calling some dinosaurs and puke and rally.
Right.
Both phrases I still use today.
Do you really?
Yes.
It's awesome. I like it.
When someone's about to puke, I'm like, oh, go over there and call some dinosaurs.
Right.
Yeah. This movie's got me talking in a really thick, like, Southern accent.
Really thick. Yeah. Mike's got his twang back here.
Go West Coast.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
Go back.
Well, and it doesn't help. I was hanging out. We went, so my sister and brother-in-law watched our kids last night so we could chill for our anniversary. So we went to go pick him up. And this dude, he's not like a hillbilly, but he does have a twang to him. You
Andy?
know? So, yeah. So
You
he's
wanna
sitting there talking like
hang
this.
out with someone
you know?
with a twang. Talk to Jack.
Jack? Mm-hmm. Which Jack?
Maggie's husband?
Oh, yeah. He's got a twang on him. It's good stuff. I wrote this down that, and I had no idea how this was going to pay off until I got to that scene. But I wrote down Miss Davis, the sex ed teacher, is really good looking. Like I could hear that woman talk about vaginas all day. Little did I know.
Well, you're in luck because, class, we're going to say vagina, penis,
Right.
penis.
It was pretty great.
I've already done that with my 5-year-old, by the way.
Vagina.
Penis.
Penis.
If she's going to talk about them, I want her to at least say the right word.
Yeah. Talking
She
about
told-
her fart box or whatever. No.
Her what?
Fart box.
Oh, God, Shane.
Oh, shit. That's funny. I don't know what
Barbecue
to say
challenge
now.
with the dads. That's a great scene.
It was. I don't like the stupid small town summer afternoon country picnic bullshit
It's
in
not a
these
picnic,
movies.
it's a fucking barbecue.
It's stupid. But that whole like, hey, everybody knows everybody, and it's a small town, and we're all up each other, everybody's asses all the fucking time. I hate that shit in movies. I hate
That's
it.
real life.
I know, and I fucking can't stand it. I lived in a small town, and everybody was up everybody's ass constantly. Yeah. And it's crazy because all these people still live in town and never amounted to fucking shit, you know? And
What
like
are you talking
they
about?
never have. Like most of these guys have never been out of town before. And so it's like,
They don't want to go out of town, Shane.
I guess not. But, you know.
They're very happy in West Canaan with their beautiful wife and the 3 shithead kids and
Right.
doing their factory job. There's people out there who are completely content doing that.
Oh, yeah. And go you, but man, there is way more to the world than West Canaan fucking Texas, you know?
Not if it's your whole world.
I guess not. We got football, we got beer brand beer. That's all we need, man. I'll see you at the fucking barbecue on Sunday.
Well, and hot chicks. Like, every chick in town's hot, so you're good.
Oh, yeah. There's no ugly girls. There's never once in this movie do you see, like, a fat girl with glasses. Never happens.
No, they only raise hot ones in West Canaan. Why would you want to leave?
Well, that's also a valid point, you know.
But at this barbecue, Mox and what's the kid's name? Lance.
Yeah.
Mox and Lance's dads decide to have like a throwing competition. They put a beer can on their head, and Lance quickly knocks his dads off. And when Mox's dad's forces, indigestion, upset stomach, gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea? You have gonorrhea?
No, it's diarrhea. I was singing the Pepto-Bismol song.
Oh, okay. Wow, you're just putting it all out there, ain't you, Mike?
No, I don't. Anyway, Mox's dad forces him to participate in said competition, so Mox just drills him right in the fucking nose.
Oh, yeah. He knocks him good.
And it pays off later because at the following game, Mox hits the mascot of the opposing team right in the face.
Right.
And then the dad realizes, he did that on purpose.
Let me ask you this. Can you do that to stop the clock? Just hug the ball at the mascot?
Well, you could throw the ball out of bounds. That stops the clock. It's an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
If you
But
incidentally hit the mascot then what's the problem?
well, I mean that's fair. Wouldn't that be along the same lines as like intentional grounding or something along those lines?
Well, different levels of football have different rules.
I guess so.
And if I have a receiver standing out there and I throw it over his head, I was throwing it to him.
Yeah. But if there's nobody out there and you're just taking pot shots at the mascot so that you can stop the clock, I don't think that should count. But
There's almost always a receiver on either side of the quarterback.
there are, yeah, pretty often. That's true.
I think you're digging
I
too
wrote down-
deep here. It was a visual gag, Shane.
Right. Well, that's what's crazy about this movie to me is it's definitely a football movie, unlike, He Got Game being a basketball movie. But they really don't go that deep into football stuff in this movie. It's a very superficial look at football,
Well, all you need
So-
to know is Wes Cannon's real good.
Right. Pretty much that's it.
Yeah.
I did write down, I'd hate to be the dude that dragged Billy Bob to the nurse's office
Oh, yeah.
when he passed out. Fuck that. I would quit that day. Whatever poor soul had to do that shit. I'm out.
Yeah. So, Harbor, he gets injured. Lance Harbor gets injured.
He does.
And Mox has to step up to be the new quarterback and wins the game immediately.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
We find out that Lance's girlfriend, Darcy's a straight-up hoe.
She is. That's her one-way ticket to success is banging the football star.
This girl wastes no time.
Oh, yeah. It's when they're coming home from the hospital. She's trying to fuck
So-
his brains out.
Yeah, so for those listening, they're all at the hospital when they get the diagnosis that Lance, he's tore every ligament in his knee. He's pretty much done, maybe forever.
Right.
So Coach tells Mox to go ahead and head home. There's nothing he can do here. And Darcy decides to hop a ride with him and immediately takes off her clothes and starts putting on the moves.
Right. She's like, we can finish this later. Like, she's not hitting on him. I thought it was weird there was never any type of resolution to that with the Darcy character. Like, you never see her and Lance, like, how their relationship played out after that or any of that shit. It's pretty
Sure they
strange,
broke
man.
up.
I'm pretty sure. That whole scene where he's, like, saying all the different names for the erection to the... I guess that was funny back in 99.
I don't give a
And
fuck
just-
who you are. Purple-headed yogurt slinger is funny.
But it's so... I guess my problem is that it's so obvious, The humor's... There's nothing subtle about it, And I think that's my problem with a lot of the humor in this movie and why it doesn't land. Is just because there's no subtlety there, They broadcast the joke an hour before they actually deliver the joke. So... It is what it is, I guess.
Boner? Is Boner one of them?
I'm sure. Sure it
That's
is.
funny.
Yeah, I guess. I did write down that whenever Coach Kilmer's talking about, you're the damn dumbest smart kid I know, I actually had a drill sergeant in basic training say that about me verbatim.
Shocker.
So, yeah. I thought it was weird that Moxon does this super humble interview where this guy's asking him questions outside of his car, and he's like, well, I'm just playing it one day at a time, and, I could never fill Lance's shoes and all that. And Julie gets pissed at him. She thinks he's full of
Because he's
shit.
not being himself.
Right, but how else was he supposed to act?
I don't know. I see your point there, too.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that one.
I thought he did a pretty good little speech. He wasn't trying to make it sound like, yeah, well, I'm the fucking new guy in town. Fuck Lance, all that shit. No, he was like, yo, I hope that dude gets better, and I'm trying to do the best I can, and he was really good too, and whatever. He wasn't throwing shade at the guy or anything. So, oh, this is where I wrote down those huge, oversized '90s shirts look ridiculous.
Yeah, the clothing is terrible.
Yeah, really bad. I did think it was funny that, so we get that whole scene where Billy Bob's going through, he passes out on the football field or whatever, and that's when Lance gets hurt. They're throwing a party that night, and here's Billy Bob, like, chasing girls, drinking beers, all this. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling so much better all of a sudden, you fuck. Boy, you got a real quick recovery there, don't you fuck, you know?
We see that party?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we sure do.
Because he drops Darcy off.
Yeah, and that's when Tweeter steals a cop car.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for a minute.
All right, let's talk about it.
These are the nicest cops ever, man.
These are the cops of a small town with a football program.
I guess so. Because, golly, they show up, and Tweeter's sitting there. He's, everybody's drinking, and they're all underage, so it's whatever, you know. But the cops show up, and they're like, hey, I'm just here making sure that nobody's drinking and driving. The cops are being super cool about this stuff.
Yeah.
This underage drinking that's going on.
And
Tweeter starts running his fucking mouth. And he's like, all right, fuck you, you fucking cop fuck, you know. And
He doesn't say that.
No, but he basically starts smarting off to the guy.
He says, I'm really sorry. You're right. No, there will be no drinking and driving tonight. I wouldn't want to mess with you guys and your cute Mountie hats. And then the cop says, mount me. And he goes, well, maybe after a couple drinks.
Yeah. And he steals his car.
Yeah.
And they never, the cops don't even slap his wrist for that, man.
It's pretty funny because he jumps in the car, throws the car and drive and goes, I'm going to jail, and just takes off.
Yeah.
And then we get to see him
does.
later. He's got 3 naked girls in the car, and he's naked.
Right.
Still in the cop car, just driving all over town. Like, no one's looking for this guy.
Nobody. Yeah.
I'm guessing they have one patrol car.
In the whole town?
Yeah.
That sounds about right, yeah. Oh, jeez, yeah. The high school football game is on the front page of the paper. I'm sorry, but if that's the biggest news that happens in town, you probably don't even need a newspaper in this town, you know?
Shane, you're so naive. You know this is real, right? Like, this happens.
I know, but I think it's stupid that it happens.
Okay.
Oh, man. I wrote down, it's weird to see James Vanderbeek with dark hair.
Man, you're all about the color of people's hair.
Yeah, it is. It's weird, man. Because he had blonde hair throughout the entire run at Dawson's Creek, as far as I know. You'd have a better idea than myself.
Something like that. I can't really.
Yeah.
It was some type of dirty blonde, I think.
Right. I wrote down I have a hard time finding Mox identifiable, and I think I know why. So he's like the super nice kid that, what is it here? He like never does anything selfish. He goes through and like doesn't cheat on his girl and doesn't climb in the car full of naked girls, you know, and all that other stuff.
He always tries to do the right thing.
Right. And I think that the problem is this is a problem that a lot of people have with Superman, is that since he's like such a good guy all the time, that people find him unrelatable. You know, I can't really relate to the issues that he's experiencing because you've painted him in this picture of him being like this perfect individual, you know. And I think that that's my issue with Mox.
Well, I tell you, Mox is one hell of a guy.
Yeah, he's a stand-up dude.
If the cop car full of naked girls would have rolled up on me when I was a senior in high school, I'm getting in.
It's over, yeah.
If I go over to Allie Larder's house and she's in a whipped cream bikini, it's over.
Oh, yeah. My relationship with Julie at that point is done, you know?
And my relationship with Lance, my best friend, is done.
Right, yes.
But I can relate to him because although I've never been standing in front of a whipped cream bikini girl trying to put it on me or a car full of naked girls, I have been in the situation where like a friend's girl was trying to put the moves on me.
Yeah.
And I didn't do anything. And it was hard. I wanted to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Have you ever been encountered with any sort of encounter with a car full of naked dudes?
Yeah.
To join them? Yeah.
I'm in the Army. It happens a lot.
Let's see. Oh, I wrote down Billy Bob has bigger tits than the stripper.
Not true. Not true.
That dude would have been thrown out of that titty bar, never to return, if he went up on stage and was like messing with this girl, taking his clothes off. You ain't gonna see that dude in that club anymore. It's over.
It was hilarious.
If you say so, brother.
And they diffused it like when I worked in clubs, diffused several things. You just give them a beer and kind of just lead them to where you want them to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I diffused shit like that in bars before.
Yeah.
It works.
Fair enough. I guess so.
Nicole made a comment about the strip club that it was the hottest chicks in a shithole town strip club you have ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, that is not what would be dancing in there.
Right. I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I believe the population is somewhere in the ballpark between 150, 200,000 people.
That's it.
And I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the it's the second largest metropolis in the state.
Yes.
I live in the biggest one, and we have over 1 million people.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Shoot. Maybe my numbers are off. But I will say this. We got lots of titty bars here in town, and none of them have girls that look like that.
Tulsa may have the most strip clubs per capita I've ever seen.
There's a lot. A whole lot, man. I've been to several, but back in my younger years. Yeah, there you go.
Night Trips used to be a really fine establishment.
It's still one of the classier joints here in town. They actually had, what's her name? The Stormy Daniels was supposed to dance there at one point. So.
I have no desire to see her naked.
No, I'm good. Well, especially considering you could go on the internet and watch her naked for free, you know? So.
Well, as soon as the whole
things.
Scandal shit came out, I immediately looked her up and was like, this is what the fuss is all about?
Right. Nothing great. But, whatever.
Did you notice in one of the practice scenes, Tweeter decides to talk about date rape and VD?
Yeah. Yeah, I did notice that. Hashtag me too, right there.
He's like, women are just panty droppers. 1 Percocet, 2 Vicodin, and how many drinks?
Yeah, I don't know how many he said, but
and then their panties just drop. Like, no, she's fucked up, bro.
Yeah, you can't do that. Or really even make jokes about that in movies anymore.
No, you couldn't get away with that in a movie today. Unless you are playing a character that's a straight up scumbag.
Right. I remember there's a big deal. You remember that movie Observe and Report with Seth Rogen?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the mall cop and all that, yeah. Well, in that movie, he's goes out on a date with Anna Faris. And she winds up just drinking her ass off, and he gives her like some of his, because he takes this medication because he's bipolar or whatever, and so she's taking those, eating them like Pez, having a good time, and they wind up fucking later that night. And it's one of those deals where she's like passed smooth out, and he's like banging the crap out of her, and then at one point he's like, yo, are you okay? Because he thought that she like stopped breathing at one point. She's like, keep going, you fucking idiot, or whatever, and there was a big row about that back in the day, man. People didn't like that.
Yeah. That's not cool.
Nah.
I've been in this situation also where I met a beautiful young woman at a bar. And,
right.
Because that's what you do at bars. And I've gone home with or took said girl home with me, and nothing happened that night because they were just too trash. There's no way.
Yeah, I hear you. You want to know what's weird? I don't think I've ever picked up a girl at a bar.
Where you weren't doing it right.
Strange. No, anytime, like most of the time I would go to a bar, it was always with friends, and I was just there to have a good time or whatever, or it was like with a girl that I was dating, and so I wasn't trying to pick anybody up there either.
If you took a girl you were with dating to the bar, it's like taking sand to the beach.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just kidding, ladies. Just kidding.
I did like Hero showing up by the Foo Fighters. The
Twice.
Foo Fighters. Yeah, twice it did. Yep.
You didn't
I
like
did.
what's the name of that fucking band? Oh God, what's the name of that band?
You're gonna say something lame
Pretty-
like Kings of Leon or something.
No, Pretty Fly for a White Guy. What's the name of that band?
Oh, the Offspring.
Yeah, they're in it.
Yeah, I noticed that too. But it's not one of their bigger songs though.
No.
I noticed. So I did write down that now that Mox won, Jules isn't pissed at him anymore. Because she's been talking shit.
We skimmed right past the fact that Mrs. Davis was one of the strippers.
Yeah, that's the payoff I was talking about earlier. And,
Yeah.
We get to see her rack. It's not bad.
Dude, she's shredded.
Yeah, she's really muscular.
I think she does like
So.
Miss Fitness competitions in real life or something because she's shredded.
Yeah. I wrote down that if she was really in a bar with her students getting drunk until the wee hours of the morning after she showed them her boobs, her career would be over fast, man.
Well, that's why they keep it a secret.
Right. They had a pact or whatever that they weren't going to
Yeah.
say shit. But
Yeah, they're not gonna throw Miss Davis under the bus.
although, if I'm the student, now I know where I'm going every Friday till the day I die. You know?
Tweeter even tried to pick her up.
Yeah, he did. It's pretty great. I think that would have been nice at the end of the movie, where they're recapping what happened to everybody afterward. If they'd have been like Tweeter and Miss Smith finally went off and got married, blah blah blah. That'd have been cool.
They got 7 kids and live in the trailer down by the river.
She's still stripping her ass off. So.
Yep.
Let's see.
Billy Bob's
I
Breakdown.
thought it was. Do what?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I do like in the movie. It would be really easy for them to naturally come through and say, "Hey, now there's this animosity between Lance and Mox," and they never go that route, and I kind of like it because now he's stealing my thunder, is where Lance's head would be at, or whatever. But they never. They're still they're still boys at the end of the day.
Mox was the only one visiting Lance.
Yeah, nobody else gives a fuck. So, let's see here. That's, I guess, pretty much all I had to say about it. They said that Mox never played football again. What kind of scholarship did he get to Brown, by the way?
Academic.
Was it an academic scholarship?
Yep.
Okay. Because they said that Mox... He's like, I never played football again. And here I was this whole movie thinking that he had a football scholarship to Brown.
Nope.
And I was like, well, how's he going to get that if he never played football again? Just sat on the bench there too? Or what? So.
No, he got an academic scholarship.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, that's, I guess, pretty much all I had to think about the movie. I thought it was okay. It's not a great movie.
There was a mutiny at the end of the movie.
There was pretty well executed mutiny also. The whole deal with John Voight.
It was kind of sad.
What with him
And
packing
pathetic.
his shit? Yeah.
It was just like sad in a pathetic way when he was like, I'm gonna walk out that door and I need you boys to follow me out there. And he's like clapping, like, come on now, let's go. And the dudes all just stand in the locker room, like he knew it was over, you know what I mean? You watch this dude's his whole life it's done.
Yeah. It pretty much was, yeah. I thought it was weird that he never, because obviously it was a deal where he hadn't realized how bad he had gotten, He had just become complacent and was only worried about winning. He didn't really care about his players at all. But it was weird that we never get to see him try to redeem himself. He was just a villain to be defeated, and that was it,
Well, he's an old school football coach.
Yeah.
His time had passed.
Yeah. I guess so.
He got his 23rd divisional title.
He did. He did indeed. And they left his statue up at the end of the movie, so that's
It was
good.
too heavy to move.
It was. What else is there, man? I'm good.
There's not a whole lot else. Yeah.
No. It's fine. This movie's stupid, but, you know, if you like it, I can't really hate on you for that, so.
I do think that nostalgia has something to do with how much I like the movie.
Right. So, for all you
I seem to identify with the players more than you did.
Right. It's possible.
Maybe because I was one, and you weren't.
I played in junior high, but in high school I said, fuck it. I was out.
And you're like way bigger than me. You should have been playing.
Meh. I didn't care that much, you know.
You're trying to protect your piano hands.
I guess so. My piano hands. These are my dick beaters. My money maker.
The good news is you can still play piano, but I can't go out and put on pads and a helmet and play football.
No, those days are behind you, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I could. It wouldn't work out well.
Right. So, yeah, I guess for all of you James Vanderbeek enthusiasts, if you like that, then go check it out.
Did he ever do anything else again?
I'm sure he did. Because he was a big deal there for about 2 years, you know.
You say James Vanderbeek. All I think about is Dawson's Creek and Varsity Blues. That's it.
Yeah.
I can't place him in anything else.
I'm looking him up right now because he was in, of course, Dawson's Creek and Varsity Blues. The Rules of Attraction came out in 2002.
I don't know anything about it.
I guess he did some stuff on Vampirina. That's hilarious. I love it.
That's great.
He had a brief stint on Modern Family. He was in that Matt Damon movie Downsizing, which I heard was awful.
He was?
Yeah, I guess.
I watched that movie.
And it says he was in CSI Cyber for like a season. So, go who. That's pretty much, CSI is where has-been actors go to die, I think. And I say that loving Gary Sinise, but I'm sorry. It's just the way it is, I think. So, but, yeah, it's fine. If you like it. If you're looking for an easy little fluff piece about a town that's obsessed with football and is fine with everything else in their lives going by the wayside, then you probably like this movie. So
This is my favorite movie of 1999.
so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably liked it better than They Live, honestly. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This would have made my top 5 of 98.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this was way better than a lot of that bullshit that we had to watch. I could see that easily. Did you watch anything this week?
I did. I watched like 4 movies.
Oh, there we go.
I can't even remember what they are, though.
No.
I know I watched A House with a Clock in the Walls.
Oh, how was that?
Jack Black. It's good enough.
Good-ish. Yeah.
It's a family movie.
I see. He's been doing a lot of that crap lately, like that Goosebumps shit and whatever.
Yeah, but he stole, what's the name of that fucking Jumanji? He stole Jumanji.
See, I like his character the best in Jumanji, man. He was pretty legit.
That's what I'm saying. He stole that movie.
Yeah.
That was a Kevin Hart rock vehicle, and Jack Black stole it.
Right. Yeah. So yeah,
I watched
that.
I know I watched something else. What the hell did I watch? Oh, A Simple Favor.
I've never heard of it.
Stars who's the cute little chick from all the Pitch Perfect movies? Anna Kendrick.
Kendrick.
Stars
She's
Anna
lovely.
Kendrick and Ryan Reynolds' wife. What is her name? Really pretty, tall, slender blonde.
I don't know.
What is her name? I feel terrible. I can't remember her name right now. But yeah, it has those two in it. It was all right.
Yeah.
I know I saw some other stuff. I knew when I was watching the movies, I was like, I should write this down.
Yeah. I watched that new so fucking as people that are listening well know, I'm actually a pretty big fan of Black Mirror. And so there was a Black Mirror movie that came out on Netflix called
Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch, yeah. That's a pretty weird deal, man.
I watched it.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
It's an interactive movie, if you will. Where
Yep.
yeah. Kind of pick your own choices as far as the movie goes, so
Kinda.
yeah. Kinda. I had some problems with it, all in all. Because the way that they had it set up, sometimes it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, there'd be a character that would die, like, early on in your deal or whatever. And so then you go on down the movie, you're making different choices, doing this and that, and then, like, the character shows back up, and you're like, wait, that dude's fucking dead, you know? Like, they didn't have any explanation for it. He's just there again, you know? And so, like, little shit like that. But,
Well, you would do, like, you'd make a choice.
right.
Like, later, further into the film, you'd make a choice, and it'd be like, wrong choice, choose this one, and it'd send you back to towards the beginning, and give you a
Yeah.
quick summary again of the movie.
Right.
It wasn't really a free choice movie.
No, it wasn't. It was a unique idea, and I can appreciate what they were trying to do.
Yes.
It had moderate success, but it does tell a pretty good story. And I think that if you like Black Mirror, then you should check it out, definitely.
Yeah,
So-
it's interactive. Have fun with it. You know, experiment with your choices.
Right.
My wife and I, every time there was a choice, we had the different choice. Like, she chose one, I chose one.
really?
Every time. Yeah. We didn't see eye to eye on any choices. I was like, man, we make very different decisions.
Yeah. Well, that's what's funny about it is I told my wife I was going to watch it because she tends to want to watch movies with me, you know. But due to inclement weather, things of that nature, I had a little bit more time off this week. And so I went through and I was watching it. I said, but don't worry about it because you can watch it later and it'll be different when you do. So don't worry about it. But I also watched this movie Hereditary with Toni
Ooh, I haven't
Collette.
seen that.
It's pretty weird, dude. Pretty
Is it
weird
good?
flick. It was produced by the same people that did The Witch. And so if you like The Witch, then you probably will like this one. But there's some stuff that's messed up in that. Taylor wouldn't watch it at all because she was like, this is messed up. I'm going to bed. There's some fucked up shit in that movie, dude. But overall, it was different. There's stuff that I liked in it. Overall, I don't know how much of it I loved. So we'll say that.
Fair enough.
We finished up. We're caught up to Shameless now. So that's kind of nice.
job.
Yeah. I guess, and I don't know if you've heard this or not. Spoiler alert for Shameless, but it's not really because it's been all over the internet and stuff. But the gal that plays Fiona, I guess this is her last season.
No.
And the guy that plays Ian, this is his last season.
Well, then this is my last season.
I don't really like Fiona all that much, so I'm good with
Yeah,
whatever.
we've had this conversation about Fiona before, and we definitely disagree about her.
Yeah.
I appreciate all their flaws.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what the show's all about.
Right. I do think, though, that it's just now has the potential to get interesting again with Ian because of the situation he's in. And so I'm hoping that he has some kind of really good resolution whenever it picks back up here in a couple weeks. So here's hoping. We also started The Man in the High Castle. So, yeah.
Finally started that, huh?
Yeah. I do think that that's interesting in a couple of different ways. Because before I'd heard people describe that TV show as basically it's an alternate reality where America lost in World War II and we're overrun with Nazi Germany, like their presence in the United States and whatnot. And I didn't realize when people were describing it to me that basically they annexed the United States. So there's the Japanese side, which is the West Coast, and the the German side, which is the East Coast, which I found interesting.
Well, it's everything up to like the Rockies.
Yeah. And then there's like the demilitarized zone, if you will, whatnot.
And that's the Rockies, yeah.
Right. I do think it's interesting, too, because as I was watching it, and I realized that there was a presence in the United States that had both Germany and Japan, I was like, I find it really interesting that they still maintained an alliance after World War II was over. And then they start getting into that in the TV show, and I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting now, you know. And I do like the look of the movie in that it's supposed to take place in the 60s, but the aesthetic is that still of maybe like the late 40s. Like technology has stopped with this totalitarian takeover, you know. It does not look like the 60s.
Well, that's when our stuff started booming, was after World War II.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
with that being absent, it makes sense that everything would just kind of stop.
Exactly. Yeah. It's almost like going back and looking at like Cuba nowadays, how everything has a 50s aesthetic. All the cars are from the 50s. You know, they're still wearing the cabana hats and, you know, all that shit. So it's
I
crazy.
mean, fortunately for the Cuban people, obviously, but for like an observer, unfortunately, that's all going to change.
Yeah.
We're trading with them now, so it's all going to change.
Yep, it will. But I think that's all I watched worth noting. So
I know I watched more movies, and I really did tell myself I should write this shit down because I know I'll forget.
I know I tell myself to all the time, and I never do. But that's okay, I guess.
Yeah. It is what it is. Oh, we watched that Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah, you said that last week. You said
Oh, I did?
Nicole didn't like it, but you did. And you watched The Spy Who Dumped Me, and you thought it was kind of dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
guess I did say that.
But, yeah.
Oh,
so there's that.
Bad Times at El Royale.
Oh, at
watched
the... Yeah. What did you think of that?
John Hamm. I really liked it.
I love John Hamm, actually, so...
John Hamm's in it.
Yeah.
The chick from 50 Shades of Grey, what's her name?
The Dakota Johnson or whatever?
Yeah, Dakota Johnson's in it.
Yeah. Don Johnson's daughter.
Jeff Bridges is in it.
Oh, I love Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, he's great. Chris
like John
Hemsworth's in
Hamm.
it.
Oh, really? That's a pretty good cast, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The whole movie only has
watching-
like 6 or 7 people.
Yeah, I can see that. This week I watched the Black Mirror Christmas episode. The one that had John Hamm in it, basically, where he's the guy that's like trying to coach this guy into like seducing women or whatever. All that shit. It's great. It was a great episode.
Something easy for John Hamm to do.
Oh, yeah.
He could probably seduce
He
me.
could seduce me. Yeah. Dude, right? It's true, dog. It's true, man. But no, he's a great actor. He's one of those weird actors, though, that, like, I never really paid attention to him. It's almost like he just kind of, like, came onto the scene and, okay, he's acting now, I guess, you know, whoever the fuck he is. So
Mad Men launched him.
Yeah, I never watched any Mad Men ever.
Oh, it's good.
Which I heard was great.
It's really
But
good.
to hear Penn Jillette describe it, he was like basically of the opinion that the show, a lot of it doesn't really have a point to it.
Yeah,
It's
we've
just
talked
kind
about
of-
this before.
Yeah, people doing stuff, and that's it, you know?
The characters are just really good.
Right.
What's funny is there's a Netflix series, like The Amazing Amy Schmidt or something like that.
The Unbeatable or...
Yeah,
whatever.
Unbreakable.
Yeah, Kimmy Schmidt, yeah.
Kimmy Schmidt, yeah, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. And John Hamm is in that.
Oh, okay. That's good.
As this,
I heard
like,
Netflix
crazy person.
canceled
You'd
that
have to
show,
see
though.
it. They did.
Yeah, that sucks. I heard it was a good show.
It was really weird, but funny.
I like really weird but funny, so I'll take it. So next week we're watching A Civil Action,
Whatever the fuck that is.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Never seen it, not familiar with. It's 90s John Travolta, but it's late 90s John Travolta, so that's kind of a bummer.
Those hairlines on the run.
Yeah, there was no catching that motherfucker, dude. All I know is that it shows him like in a suit on the poster, and that's all I know about this movie. It has not done anything to grab me at all, so we'll see how well it plays out. But anyway, any final thoughts, Mike?
No, I think we've bored everybody enough.
Yeah, it's good stuff there. High quality time spent. If you aren't bored and you are still listening and you want to get in touch with us, you can always reach us at cheesymovie@yahoo.com. You can look us up on Facebook, Casino Royale with Cheese, all separate words. You can check us out on our YouTube page. You can check us out on Instagram and wherever you get your podcast from at Casino Royale W Cheese, all one word. And our Twitter, as always, is vacant, but you can look it up, Casino Royale WCH, all one word. And I guess that's gonna do it for me, dog.
That's all I got.
All right, my friend. Well, everybody, make sure if you know anything about civil action, then you can join us next week as we watch that movie and try to figure out what it's about. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
I'll be back.